Gil Brandt did a list on NFL Media of what is every team's weakness, and he listed the Patriots' interior offensive line as their biggest weakness, while also acknowledging that this is a team without a lot of weaknesses. So I guess the question here is, do you agree with Gil that the interior offensive line is their biggest weakness, and if not, what do you think it is?
I don't think it's an outlandish take by any means.
No.
I think that's definitely one of the maybe 2 or 3 units that you could point to.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to declare their pass rush completely fixed. I like what they did to bolster the unit over this offseason with Coney Ely coming in, and then with the 2 draft picks and Derek Rivers and Dietrich Wise. We don't know how they're both going to fit into this system. They're obviously the 2 draft picks were around in the middle rounds for a reason, and Coney Ely was by no means a superstar when he was in Carolina. So I'm still not ready to say that unit is completely healed yet, but. Yeah, I mean, I think you can look at that interior offensive line, and it's hard to call it. I guess you can call it a weakness compared to some of the other more fortified units on the Patriots. I don't think that it's something that they really need to address, if that makes any sense, because I like the players that they have in that position. They're 3 young guys who are only going to get better. Yeah. But I don't know. What's your take here? It's kind of hard to pick out a weakness on this team.
Pass rush is a good one just because you don't know what you're going to get out of Coney Ely. He wasn't very productive with the Panthers last season. Yeah. Rob Ninkovich certainly took a step back last season. Obviously, they've got Trey Flowers. You hope you get something out of Ely. You hope you get something out of Derek Rivers or Dietrich Wise, but there's no guarantee there. So I might actually say that pass rush is still the biggest weakness. At the same time, you do have guys like Dante Hightower and Kyle Van Noy who can contribute, but that all depends on whether Bill Belichick is actually willing to use them as pass rushers and willing to use them as blitzers. So I don't know. I mean, I guess it all kind of depends on how David Andrews and Joe Thuney advanced this season, because Shaq Mason really came on strong at the end of the last season. He was a little weak in the Super Bowl, but I mean you're going up against extremely talented players there. But if David Andrews and Joe Thuney can prove that they can gain some bulk, gain some strength over the offseason, then I think that if anything that might become a strength for the team. It just depends on how much better those guys can get. So right now I probably would say it's those edge rushers, but obviously there is a lot of potential there because Ely is a talented player, Rivers and Wise are talented players. They know what they're getting out of Trey Flowers, but that's an area where Patriots fans could still be complaining about that going into next season. Fortunately, they will not be complaining about the secondary. They will not be complaining about deep threats like they typically do.